Hello, my name is Shashank. I'm a rising junior at Mission San Jose High School in Fremont, California. And my project for this summer program was to build a door lock using an object detection model. And I used Python's OpenCV module and library, which allowed me to detect people's faces. And in addition to that, I added a fingerprint reader from Adafruit to act as a second verification method. So this is going to be my demo real quick. If I run the code, the first thing that comes up is enrolling your finger ID. And in a traditional, in like a normal, if I was going to implement this in an actual system, I would have the program running at all times and every time you rerun it, it would enroll a new fingerprint. But a way that I would combat this was using a database from either MongoDB or Google's Firebase system. And when I press 2, a fingerprint reader lights up. If I put my thumb on it, it registers your finger, and it states I'm storing model number 1, and it's stored and all done. The next part of the model is detecting a face, and it could be any face. And you know that by having the camera LED turn on, and if it detects my face, it states a face has been detected. Place your finger on the right. Place your finger on to the reader on the right, and then place your finger here. Right now it's waiting for the image, and if I use my thumb again, it's gonna keep asking me to do it until it finds my finger. Finger's kind of sweaty right now, sorry. Yeah, so it detected finger number 1 with a confidence of 134, and this confidence level goes up to 200. I forgot, I don't know why it's not 100, but I would just have to make it that. And then the servo will turn in 10 seconds, and that's another part which I'll go over later. And all right, continuing on. Obviously, the door lock isn't completed because there's no servo system or locking mechanism. And initially, I planned for there to be a locking mechanism, but I wasn't able to get the parts necessary in time. And some challenges that I faced throughout my time at Bootstrap was first setting up the Pi. And I spent the majority of the first week trying to set up the Pi, but I ran into multiple issues while reading and writing a micro SD card, and that was just trial and error, just redoing it until it finally worked. And additionally, I had a really hard time installing all my packages and correct libraries for my program to run. In the future, I plan to rework my entire program to be more efficient and my entire hardware system to be more condensed and smaller. And to do this, I plan to replace the entire Raspberry Pi with one programmable microcontroller and use a different camera which has better frames per second and refresh rates and resolution, and maybe even use a smaller fingerprint reader. And yeah, and maybe even make a custom PCB board to accommodate everything. That is my presentation.
Does anyone have any questions?
So Shashank, you didn't use nail nets, but you use OpenCV to detect his faces?
Yeah.
All right, that is different and pretty cool.
Shashank, how are you able to detect faces with OpenCV?
They have their own frontal face XML library, and I just went back. I just made my program for reference back to that. But I was at one point working on a thing to detect my own face. That just didn't work out because I had to take pictures of myself using the Pi camera, and just it wouldn't work because quality.